Captain Mara Kessler stood on the edge of the observation deck. Watching the stars move slowly past the ship's thick glass window, the Odyssey had traveled far beyond known space. Her mission was simple: explore, document, and return. What she found in this strange star system was far from simple. A planet called Varelia sat quietly in the darkness. Scanners showed signs of life and energy, cities maybe, but no one responded to Earth's standard greeting signals. It was quiet. "It's quiet, Captain," came the voice of her second-in-command. "Lieutenant Harris, we're receiving a message. Unknown language, but it's directed at us." Mara turned, her sharp eyes narrowing. "Put it on screen." The image that appeared wasn't human. A tall, elegant figure stood in a dark hall lit by silver light. Her skin shimmered with a blue hue, her long silver hair flowing behind her. Like water, she wore armor that looked both ancient and advanced. Her voice came through the translator calm, but filled with weight. "I am Queen Serala of the Verkal. I seek the leader of the humans. I come not with weapons, but with a request and a warning." Mara raised an eyebrow. "A queen? That was a first?" "Bring her aboard," Mara said. "But with full safety protocol, I want answers." 2 hours later, Queen Serala stood in the Odyssey's central chamber. Despite the alien differences, she carried herself with grace and pride, looked directly at Mara, not like someone meeting a stranger, but like someone meeting an equal. "You are Captain Mara," Serala said. Her voice was calm but firm. "I am," Mara answered. "You asked for a meeting? You have it?" Serala looked around, then nodded. "My people are dying. We have fought wars for centuries. We have no more time. We need help." Mara crossed her arms. "What kind of help?" "We need your knowledge, your strength, your world." "Speak for a moment. Are you asking to come to Earth?" Serala hesitated. "Yes, but not to invade, to live in peace, if you will have us." The room went silent. Harris glanced at Mara, confused. This was not how first contact usually went. Most species avoided direct contact for years, sometimes centuries. But this queen was asking to join them. "Why now?" Mara asked. Serala's voice dropped. "Because we have seen what your people can do. The way you fight. Yes, but also the way you survive, adapt, grow. You are stronger than you know. And I am willing to fight just to live with you." Later, Mara sat alone in her quarters, staring at the stars again. Her mind raced. Earth's leaders would never agree easily. Bringing an entire alien species to live among humans? That was politics, chaos, risk. But something in Serala's voice had struck her. It wasn't desperation. It was hope. The door chimed. "It was Serala. I didn't call you," Mara said. "I know," Serala replied, stepping inside, "but I felt you had questions." Mara nodded slowly. "You say, your people admire humans, but most species see us as dangerous. It's unpredictable, even primitive." "You are unpredictable," Serala agreed, "but that is your strength. Don't give up. Even in your darkest moments, you find light." Mara studied the queen. She looked tired more so than before. "And your enemies? They will follow. They will try to stop us, but I am ready to fight them. I will protect your people if you protect mine." Mara leaned back. "You're asking for a home. But Earth isn't ready. Then prepare." "Them," Serala said softly, "because ready or not, the galaxy is changing. And soon, you will need allies who stand by your side, not above you." Back on Earth, news of the contact spread quickly. Governments held secret meetings. Some feared invasion. Others saw opportunity. Mara was called into a conference with Earth's World Council. They demanded answers. Who were the Verkal? Could they be trusted? Why should Earth help? Mara stood tall, because they've already chosen to trust. Us, Queen Serala, is not our enemy. She is a mirror. Her people fought so long, they forgot what peace felt like. And now, they're asking us to remind them. But at what cost? A council member asked. Maybe no cost, Mara answered. Maybe it's time we show the galaxy that humanity doesn't just survive, we lead. We build, we protect. Back on the Odyssey, Sorella watched Earth through the view window. Mara stood beside her. They haven't agreed yet. I understand, Sorella said quietly, but I'll speak for you, Mara added. I'll fight for this. Sorella turned, her eyes gentle. Then I am not alone. For the first time in years, Sorella smiled, not the smile of a queen, but of someone who had found hope in the most unlikely place. The room buzzed with quiet voices. On Earth, the World Council met in a large hall filled with people from many nations and backgrounds. They gathered to decide the fate of a question that no one had expected so soon. Should humanity accept the Verkal, an alien species, as allies and possibly neighbors? Captain Mara Kessler stood at the center, answering questions with calm confidence. Queen Sorella, sitting quietly beside her, seemed out of place among humans, but her presence was powerful. Council member Dr. Vance leaned forward. Captain Kessler, you say the Verkal want peace. But how can we be sure? They come from a warrior race, and their planet is scarred by war. Mara nodded. I won't pretend the Verkal are perfect. They fought long and hard, but their queen reached out first. She showed us respect and trust. That counts for something. Sorella's voice, clear and steady, added, War is not who we are now. We are tired, want to rebuild, not destroy. The council murmured. Some looked skeptical. Others seemed hopeful. Back aboard the Odyssey, tension simmered beneath the surface. Though Queen Sorella spoke of peace, her people were divided. Some Verkal believed joining humans was betrayal. Others saw it as survival. Among the dissenters was Sorella's own brother, Corin. He was strong and proud, but bitter. Strength is our honor, he said to a small group of warriors. We do not beg for peace, we take it. His words stirred unrest. He saw the humans as weak and dangerous, not as allies. Captain Mara was unaware of these internal struggles until a warning came from her security team. An informant aboard the Odyssey reported secret meetings in the Verkal quarters. Mara decided to investigate. She found Corin speaking to a group of young warriors. The humans want to control us, he said. We must be ready to fight. Our queen is weak. Mara stepped forward. If you want to fight, then fight me. Warriors turned sharply, ready for a challenge. But Mara raised her hands. Not with weapons. With words. Tell me why you believe your queen is wrong. Corin looked at her, surprised. Because she trusts humans. Humans are unpredictable. They could destroy us all. Mara smiled. Humans are unpredictable, yes. But that means we can adapt. We find new ways when old ways fail. That is how we survive. Corin studied her, then nodded slowly. Maybe your way is strong too, but we will see. Meanwhile, Sorella spent hours with Mara. They shared stories about their worlds, about hope, fear, and what it meant to lead a people. Sorella said, On Varelia, we have learned that strength without wisdom is destruction. I hope Earth will. Teach my people this, Mara replied. And maybe your people will teach us something too, about honor, courage, and the cost of peace. Their friendship grew, built on trust and respect. The next day, Mara held a meeting with the Verkal Council, a group of elders and warriors who advised the queen. She spoke plainly. We want this alliance to work, but you must be honest. Are there others who want to stop it? An elder named Tolan nodded slowly. There are voices in the shadows. It's those who believe in old ways. They fear change. Mara asked, what will you do if they act? Tolan looked at Sorella, who nodded. You will stand with the queen. But we need your help, humans, your strength and your ideas. Back on Earth, the political debate grew louder. Some council members argued against the alliance, fearing Verkal influence. But a new voice rose, a young politician named Leela. She said, If we refuse to help now, we send a message. Humanity fears the unknown. But we are stronger than that. We are a new hope in the galaxy. Verkal's choice to trust us is a gift. We must honor it. Her words inspired many. Tensions rose when a small group of Verkal rebels, led by Corin, made a bold move. They sabotaged part of the Odyssey's communication systems, trying to break the alliance before it could grow stronger. Mara acted quickly. She gathered both human and Verku loyalists to repair the damage and find the rebels. Corin's group escaped but left a clear warning. The path ahead would not be easy. Mara and Sorella faced the challenge together. Sorella said, "We cannot let fear and old grudges destroy what we have built. We must show our people that peace is possible." Mara agreed. Humans have faced division and hardship too, but we learned to come together. Maybe we can teach each other how to do that. In the weeks that followed, humans and Verkal worked side by side. They shared knowledge and stories. The humans taught new ways to heal the scars of war, and the Verkal shared lessons of honor and sacrifice. Slowly, trust grew. One evening, Mara and Sorella stood on the Odyssey's observation deck again. The stars shone bright, promising new beginnings. Sorella looked at Mara. "Thank you, Captain, for believing in us." Mara smiled. "We're stronger together. I hope the rest of the galaxy will see that soon." Sorella nodded. "I am willing to fight just to live with you." The space above Earth was calm, but inside the Odyssey, the air felt heavy. Captain Mara Kessler stood on the bridge, reading reports with a serious face. The Verkal Queen, Sorella, stood beside her, silent but alert. "Another signal from deep space," said Lieutenant Harris. "Unknown ship. It's not responding to us." Mara frowned. "Can we track its path?" "Yes," Harris replied. "It's not heading toward Earth, but it's close. It's observing." Sorella's expression darkened. "It is them. Ones who hunted us. The Drovak Alliance." Mara looked at her. "Enemies of your people?" Sorella nodded. "They're not just enemies. They are destroyers. They do not ask. They only take." Mara turned to her crew. "Raise alert level 2. "No. Weapons just eyes open." The room moved into quiet action. Back in the Verkal guest quarters, some of Sorella's people gathered in concern. A young advisor named Ellen asked, "Will the humans still stand with us if danger comes close?" Lay replied gently, "Captain. Mara is not someone who walks away from fear. Neither are her people." But deep inside, even Sorella wasn't sure. She had placed a big hope on a small world. The mysterious ship stayed for 2 days, then vanished. It did not speak. It did not attack. But its silence was loud enough to spread worry on both Earth and the Odyssey. Meetings with Earth's world council followed. Some leaders asked if Earth was now in danger because of the Alliance. "This is exactly what we feared," said one member. "Their war has followed them here." Mara stood firm. "Oh, war followed them before. Now they're trying to stop it. That's what makes them different. That's why they came to us." Still, the council was divided. Earth was watching closely, and people had questions. Were the humans safe? Was the Alliance wise? Meanwhile, on the Odyssey, something interesting happened. Human engineers were working with Verkal builders on a shared Project TAN advanced communication device that used both Earth and Verkal technology at first. They didn't understand each other. The tools were different. The ideas clashed. But one day, a human technician named Riley made a small change to a system that caused it to work better than before. The Verkal engineers were amazed. "How did you know to do that?" one of them asked. Riley shrugged. "I didn't. I just tried something new." That one moment showed the Verkal something powerful. Humans didn't always follow the rules, but sometimes that helped them find better answers. Sorella visited the lab and smiled. "Now I understand. This is what makes your people strong." But not all Verkal felt the same. Corin, Sorella's brother, was still missing. Rumors said he had left the ship and joined with a group hiding on the dark side of Earth's moon. He sent a message to Sorella. "You trust too easily. You forget who the humans really are. I will remind them." Sorella showed Mara the message. Mara asked, "Do you believe he'll hurt anyone?" Sorella shook her head. "He does not seek blood. He seeks fear. If he can make humans afraid, he believes they will turn against us." Mara thought for a moment. Then we need to show him we're not afraid. We need to show Earth that. 2. To build trust, Mara and Sorella planned to public broadcast a peaceful message to both humans and Verkel. They sat in front of a camera, side by side. Mara spoke first. This is not just about planets or power. This is about people. We are different, yes, but that does not make us enemies. Then Sorella spoke. I was born on a world filled with fire and fear. But I now stand beside someone who shows me peace is not weak, it is strong. And I will protect that peace, even if it costs me everything. The message was shared across Earth. Millions watched. Some cried. Others questioned. But no one could deny the truth they saw in Sorella's eyes that night. Sorella visited the garden room of the Odyssey, a place where earth plants grew in silence. Mara joined her, carrying 2 cups of tea. They sat together, not as captain and queen, but as friends. Sorella said softly, I never imagined I would find calm in a place like this. Mara smiled. Sometimes, peace is the biggest surprise. Then Sorella added, My people always believed survival came from strength, but now I see, it also comes from connection.
What?
Mara raised her cup. To connection, then. They clinked. Cups, and for a moment, no words were needed. The next day, Earth's Council sent a message. The vote is close, but positive. We will continue the alliance under strict observation. You have 1 year to prove that this partnership can work. Mara read the message out loud. Sorella smiled. 1 year is enough. Mara nodded. Then let's make it count. But far, above Earth, another ship watched. This one was not from Earth, nor from Virl. Elye. In a dark chamber, a strange figure whispered. So, the humans accept them. Let's see how long their kindness lasts. The figure pressed a button, and a signal was sent into deep space. Trouble was coming, but so was hope. The Odyssey hummed quietly as Captain Mara Kessler paced the ship's corridors. The past weeks had been filled with cautious hope, but now something felt wrong. Reports from Earth and Varelia hinted at hidden dangers, something lurking beneath the surface of their fragile alliance. Mara paused outside the Verkel Council chamber. Queen Sorella was inside, speaking with her advisors. Mara waited, then entered. Sorella looked up, her face tired but determined. Captain, we have a problem. Mara sat. Tell me. Our enemies are closer than we thought, Sorella said. Some of my people do not want peace. They hide among us. Mara frowned. You mean spies? Sorella nodded. Yes, they want to break the alliance, to bring chaos. Mara's mind raced. Do you have proof? Sorella slid a small device across the table. This contains intercepted messages. It's plans to sabotage our work here. Mara picked up the device and scanned it. Her stomach tightened. The messages named a few humans and even some Verkahu were involved. This is bad, Mara said. We need to act carefully. That evening, Mara and Sorella met with their trusted team. Among them were Lieutenant Harris, the human security chief, and Tolan, a Verkel elder loyal to Sorella. Who can we trust? Mara asked. Tolan looked serious. Not everyone. But we know the spies meet in the lower decks. Must find them before they act. Mara nodded. I want a full sweep of the ship. Quiet, careful. We cannot cause panic. The team agreed. They split into groups and began searching. While the search was underway, Sorella sat alone in the ship's garden room, where earth plants grew under soft lights. Mara found her there. You seem worried, Mara said gently. Sorella sighed. This is not just about politics or war. It is about my people's future and mind. Mara sat beside her. You don't have to carry this alone. Sorella looked at her with gratitude. I never thought I would find someone to fight beside me, but you were different. Mara smiled, because I believe in hope. I believe in you. Meanwhile, below deck, search team uncovered signs of the spies' meeting place, a small room filled with stolen data drives and communication devices. Lieutenant Harris frowned. They're planning something big. Before they could act, the room's door hissed open, and a Verkel soldier appeared. His eyes were cold. "I am Corin's messenger," he said. "The Queen's trust is a weakness. Soon it will be her undoing." Harris quickly secured the room. "We'll find out what you're planning." Back in the council chamber, Sorella called a meeting with all Verkal leaders. The news of spies spread quickly, shaking confidence. Sorella stood tall. "We have enemies among us, but we also have strength. I ask each of you choose peace. Choose to protect our future." Her words echoed through the hall. Days passed, and the crew worked to secure the ship. Some spies were caught. But Corin's group remained hidden. Mara and Sorella knew time was running out. One night, Sorella approached Mara. "I must make a sacrifice." Mara looked surprised. "What kind?" Sorella's eyes were steady. "To protect my people and yours, I will leave the Odyssey temporarily. To find Corin and stop him." Mara shook her head. "That's too dangerous." Sorella smiled softly. "It is my duty. I am willing to fight, just to live with you." Mara nodded slowly. "Then you will not go alone. I'll come with you." The next day, Mara and Sorella prepared for their mission. The ship's crew gathered to wish them well as they stepped into the shuttle. Sorella looked at Mara. "Thank you for standing by me." Mara took her hand. "Always." They landed on a small moon near Varelia, a place shrouded in shadows and silence. Mara and Sorella moved carefully, knowing danger waited as they searched. Mara saw the Queen's strength not just in battle, but in her calm courage. Suddenly a voice came from the darkness. "Corin." The brother stepped forward, eyes burning with anger. "You think you can stop me?" he asked. "The Queen is weak." "She brought the enemy here," Sorella replied firmly. "I brought hope, something you have forgotten." Mara stepped beside her. "We're not afraid of your threats." Corin laughed. "Fear is a weapon, and I will use it." The three stood in silence, but something changed. Corin's face softened for a moment. "You remind me of our old ways. Strong, yes, but willing to listen. Maybe I was wrong." Sorella looked at her brother. "It is never too late to choose peace." Corin nodded slowly. "I will think on this, but beware others will not be so willing." Back on the Odyssey, the crew waited. Mara and Sorella's return marked a turning point, a sign that trust and sacrifice could build a new future. Mara looked out at the stars. "This alliance will be hard, but it is worth it." Sorella smiled. "Together we can face anything." The Odyssey glided silently through space, its hull bathed in the soft glow of distant stars. Captain Mara Kessler stood at the observation window, watching the vast darkness stretch beyond. Beside her, Queen Sorella's eyes reflected the same. "Stars, a mixture of hope and determination." "Do you think we'll ever truly be safe?" Mara asked quietly. Sorella turned to her. "Safety is a choice we make every day. Not the absence of danger, but the courage to face it together."
Mara
nodded, feeling the weight of those words. The alliance between humans and Verkal was still new. Many on Earth and Varelia doubted it would last, but Mara believed otherwise. Back on Earth, news about the Odyssey and its mission had spread. People watched the peaceful messages, but fear still lingered in some hearts. Lila, the young politician, who had supported the alliance, was now speaking to a crowd in a large city square. "We face an uncertain future," she said. "But if we choose fear, we lose what makes us human, our ability to hope, to change, to grow." Her speech inspired many, but others protested. Meanwhile, aboard the Odyssey, engineers and scientists worked side by side with Verkal experts. They developed new technology that combined the best of both worlds: machines that healed wounds faster, communication devices that worked across planets, and energy sources that were clean and strong. One afternoon, Riley, the human technician, who had surprised the Verkal engineers before, smiled as she watched a small drone hover steadily. A Verkal engineer named Thal nodded in approval. "You have changed the way we think," Thal said. "Your ideas give us hope." Riley grinned. "Maybe that's what humans do best." Despite these peaceful days, Shadows remained. Corins. The message had been clear. Not all Verkle wanted peace. Some hid in silence, waiting for the right moment. One night, Va and Sorella received a warning from Tolan, the loyal elder. There is unrest in the lower decks, he said. Whispers of rebellion. Mara clenched her jaw. We need to talk to them. Mara and Sorella walked together to the lower decks, where many Verkle workers lived and worked. They found groups gathered in small circles, speaking quietly. But passionately, Sorella stepped forward. I hear your voices. I know you fear change. A man stepped out, a young Verkle named Renar. Change feels like a threat. We do not know if humans will protect us or destroy us. Mara looked at him. I don't know the future, but I do know this. We are stronger together. If you give us a chance, we will protect you. Renar hesitated. Why should we trust a species that once fought wars among themselves? Sorella answered, because we have both learned, we have both lost, and now we choose to build, not destroy. Slowly the crowd began to listen. Days passed. The unrest began to ease, replaced by curiosity and cautious friendship. Mara and Sorella arranged for shared celebrations, festivals where humans and Verkle could learn each other's music, food, and stories. During one such event, Mara watched Sorella dance with Verkle children, her face soft with joy. A human child tugged at Mara's hand. Will they stay with us? Mara smiled. I believe they will, because peace is a choice, and we choose it together. But the galaxy beyond was still watching, on a distant planet. The strange figure who had sent the warning signal spoke again. They think peace is their shield, the figure said coldly. We will test their hope. Back aboard the Odyssey, sensors picked up a faint signal, a probe, hidden and fast, moving closer to Earth. Mara frowned. Prepare the defenses. No weapons unless we are attacked. We will face this with courage as one. The probe passed silently, sending back information. It was a test, not an attack, but it was clear the Alliance was being watched. Mara and Sorella knew the real battle was not in weapons, but in trust, courage, and understanding. We are the bridge between worlds, Mara said, and bridges are built with care. Sorella nodded, with patience and with heart. That night, Mara and Sorella sat together in the observation deck. Sorella said softly, I never dreamed I would find a home among stars so far from mine. Mara smiled, reaching for her hand. You already have one. Here, with us. They watched the stars in silence, knowing that the future was uncertain, but full of promise. The Odyssey drifted near Earth's orbit, the blue planet glowing below like a precious jewel. Captain Mara Kessler and Queen Sorella stood on the observation deck, watching the sunrise together. Look at that, Mara said softly. A new day. Sorella nodded, a new beginning. They had come far. From fear and doubt to hope and friendship, but the journey had not been easy. Earth's leaders gathered in the Great Hall for the final vote on the Alliance. The room was filled with tension and hope. Lila, the young politician who had supported the mission, stood and addressed the council. We have faced threats inside and out, but we have learned that courage is not just in battle, but in trust. We must choose to build a future together. The council members whispered among themselves. Finally, the vote was cast. Mara and Sorella waited anxiously. The announcement came. The Alliance is approved. Cheers erupted. The decision meant humans, and Verkle would work together to protect both their worlds and share their knowledge. Back on the Odyssey, the crew celebrated. Songs from Earth and Verkle filled the halls. Mara smiled, watching Sorella laugh among her people. A soft chime interrupted the celebration. Harris approached Mara with a message. There's a transmission from the distant fleet, the Ones. Who sent the probe? They want to meet. Mara frowned. A peaceful meeting? Unknown, Harris replied. But it's an opportunity. Sorella stepped forward. We must be ready. Peace is fragile, but it is also powerful. The Odyssey set course to meet the fleet. Mara and Sorella prepared together. As the ship approached, strange vessels appeared. Unlike anything they had seen, shapes that shimmered and moved like light. A voice came through the speakers, calm but firm. "We have watched your efforts. You show a strength beyond weapons. We seek to learn from you." Mara exchanged a glance with Sorella. "Then let's begin." The meeting was slow, careful, but full of hope. The new fleet came from a distant part of the galaxy, where war had ruled for centuries. They had seen the Odyssey's peaceful mission and wanted to understand. Mara spoke. "We believe peace is not weakness. It is courage and connection. Added together, we face challenges that no one can solve alone." Days turned into weeks as they shared stories, knowledge, and hopes. The distant fleet began to change. Their ships shone brighter. Their crews smiled more. Mara thought about how far they had come from enemies and fear to friends and allies. She squeezed Sorella's hand. "This is just the beginning." Sorella smiled. A new dawn for all. When the Odyssey returned to Earth, the sky was filled with ships, humans, Verkal, and others. All celebrating the new alliance, Mara and Sorella stood together, watching as children from both worlds played and laughed. "You were right," Mara said. "Peace takes work, but it's worth every step." Sorella nodded. "I am willing to fight. Not with weapons, but with hope. Just to live with you." As the sun set, the two leaders looked ahead, ready for whatever the future held. Because together, they had built something stronger than fear. They had built a family among the stars.